Hi Flosstube, I'm Sarah, Cross Stitch Sarah, here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel all about cross stitch. Hi everyone, welcome back if you are an existing subscriber and you come back every time or most times, and welcome if you're new here. If you are and you like my video, then please do consider subscribing. I'm up to 1,911 subscribers, so edging towards, I mean a little way away, but edging towards the 2,000, which is fantastic. I've had quite a lot of new subscribers recently, which is really lovely, so thank you very much if you're one of those people. I've got a few things today. I wasn't coming back before my WIP parade, so don't get excited, today isn't WIP parade. I'm doing my WIP parade next Sunday, and I did think I probably wouldn't film in between, but I just thought I'd do a quick update because I have worked on 5 different projects, and I've got some haul and bits and pieces, and I thought actually to leave all of that until September, when it will be the one after the WIP parade, is quite a long time, considering that some of the haul are beautiful project bags that I want to use. So like, as every Flosstuber knows, you don't use anything until it's been shown. So like, I can't wait till September. So I thought I'd pop back on, so it won't, well, I'm going to say now, it won't be a long video, so we'll see how that goes. And just yeah, just do a little update video today, and then yeah, WIP parade next week. So not a lot's happened. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen that I had my twice yearly, or one of my twice yearly infusion treatments for my MS last week, which was fine. It's basically like you're hooked up to a drip, but they do it through a pump, an infusion pump, so that they can control the flow. And because I've had quite a few now, they can run it through fairly quickly. So I'm only usually there till lunchtime, so sort of 4 or 5 hours rather than all day. And I don't suffer any side effects apart from tiredness, which is probably one of my biggest symptoms of my MS anyway, is fatigue. So yeah, so it was all good. Not a lot else really has happened, I don't think. Our village has had their carnival, and we have like a week, like a gala week of various activities going on in the village at different places for different things. And one of the things they have is like an exhibition in the local church of crafts and curios and artwork and photographs and all sorts of different things. So I did actually this year, I didn't last year, but this year I did take down some of my cross stitch. I actually took down my framed cross stitch of Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. So I will put some pictures in while I'm talking. Now, that was the 2021 stitch along. So it started in January of 2021, and we got 1 part per month. And I kept up with that stitch along all through 2021, finished it at the end of 2021. Took it to the framers where we then lived, which was in Bedfordshire, got it framed, and then promptly moved house in the February to here. So it has never been out of the brown paper wrapping from the framers. Well, obviously I did look at it and check it and so on, but I mean, then it got wrapped back up, wrapped in lots of bubble wrap. And then for the last 3.5 years, because we've been renovating our house, again, if you've been here before, you know that we had a lot to do in this house and it's still not finished. Nothing's ever got hung on the wall. So this Fruits of Plenty that has been stitched for 3.5 years and framed for 3.5 years has never hung on the wall. So I found it out when I was looking for some bits to take down to display in the church, and I thought, right, and I'd forgotten, sounds very big-headed, but I'd forgotten how stunning it looks. So I took that down, and then I took a couple of other bits. So I took another framed piece of something that's very tiny, and then I took 2 things that are finished on wooden boards, so a wooden platter and a wooden chopping board, just to show people that you can do different things with your cross stitch. You don't have to frame them. So they've been in church all week, and I put some little cards in there with my Instagram, and I did chat to one lady who followed me immediately while I was standing there chatting to her, so that was really sweet. So yeah, so that was a really nice experience actually, having people sort of look at my work. And there was other work that other needlework and knitting and crochet, all sorts of things. There was another lady that I've met before in the village who does cross stitch, but she kind of does one project at a time. She was horrified when I told her I'd got 53 whips. So yeah, so that was really nice actually this week. I went and collected those yesterday. So yeah, so that can now, Fruits of Plenty can now go on the wall. It's just it's just which wall in which room, and yeah, might put it up in here in my craft room actually. Talking of craft room, I haven't forgotten about, I was going to say the tour. Tour is a big word, right? Okay, this room is very small. but for want of a better word, the craft room tour. I'm still waiting on my husband to finish my table because I just wanted it to kind of be done. So I'm going to say that next regular Flosstube, which will be the beginning of September, I'm going to have a 3-week gap in between the WIP parade and my next regular Flosstube. Let's say that weekend or around that time, we'll do a craft room tour, okay? Obviously, he can't hear me, so when I finish filming, I shall be saying, right, you've got a deadline. Yeah, so that you can all have a poke about in my cupboards and drawers and see how I've got things laid out. Okay, let's move on. What else have I got? I have got giveaway winners from the last video. So I've got giveaway for the Cotton and Twine Busy, I don't know what the chart is actually called, Busy Bee. Busy as a Bee, My Needle and Me. The box that has this chart in and all the goodies, the frame, or everything you need to complete this pattern, and a tea bag and a little gift, all in the box. And I was also doing a giveaway, which was very kindly offered to me by Sammy of the Old Barn Stitching Co, Little Loop Stitching. She has designed this chart, Wildflower. I call it Wildflower Bunny, which I am stitching, which you'll see in a bit. And she kindly gifted me the chart as a PDF and said that I could offer one to you guys as a PDF, so the winner of that will just need to give me their email address, and that's that. So I drew those winners literally just before I came on. So the winner of the Cotton and Twine box, the whole box, with all the goodies inside, including the chart and kit materials to do this pattern, is, just going to refer to my notes, Brenda Ran 2052. I'll pop a screenshot in here of your comment, Brenda. And if you can get in touch with me, I will need your postal address to get this out to you. Then the winner of the bunny chart, the wildflower, should I say, from Sammy, is Vivian Martin 5067. Again, I'll pop a picture in here of the screenshot of your comment, Vivian. And again, if you can get in touch with me, my email will be in the description box, or you can reach out to me on Instagram. But for you, Vivian, I just need your email address rather than an email address rather than your postal address, and I will forward that PDF chart on to you. The other thing I wanted to say at the beginning that I completely forgot, now I'm looking at my notes, is thank you so much to everyone who went and watched and interacted with Bethany, my lovely daughter-in-law. So if you haven't been here before, my lovely daughter-in-law is also a cross stitcher. And she recently started her very own Flosstube, having joined me on one of mine not long ago. She decided that, yeah, now is the time to start her own. So I'm so super proud of her. It was brilliant. It was like she'd been doing it forever. I think she's now just over 500 subscribers already, which made her very happy. It's had lots of views, and I know lots of my viewers have been over and watched her because you've commented and said so. So thank you so much to everyone who's done that. If you haven't and you're new here, so you haven't met Bethany, I'll pop a screenshot up here of what her channel looks like. She is called Ducks and Crosses, and she is Ducks and Crosses on Instagram as well. So if you fancy it, please pop over and have a little watch and like and subscribe if you like it. That would be great. Okay, let's move on to the stitching. So this month, let me check what I have got. I have got one SAF, start and finish, but then it's got another F on the end because I pretty much FFO'd it this morning. I had no other new, yes I did have a new start because it was Wildflower was a new start. One new start, no other finishes. I've completed one of the August WIP Go numbers already, and I worked on 5 different projects since I last saw you, so that's pretty good, I think. So the start and finish is, it's not finished on the back, that's why I'm saying it's almost finished, because I need to make a hoop butt. But basically this is my start and finish of this Lionesses pattern. This is a chart that's free to download on the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Facebook group. I think it's been there for a while. I think since they won a major tournament before, but anyway, it was kind of like prompted to say, hey, don't forget there's this chart here. So I watched, I've never watched football. I've never been into football. My husband doesn't like football. Bethany is mad about football. She is a huge Arsenal ladies fan. and yeah, she just got me into watching the women's Euros, and I couldn't stop, and it was all very tense. If you were here before, I stitched the whole bat on pumpkin patch whilst watching the football in completely the wrong place, and then had to frog it. So yeah, so I got really, really into it. So it was really great to see that they won. So Bethany and I both stitched this pattern. Now Bethany's made some changes to hers, and it's fantastic. So when she shows hers on her Flosstube, you'll see her changes are up at the top where there's those little roses, I'm guessing they're supposed to be. She's done something different up there, and it looks really, really good. But yeah, this is my start and finish. I stitched this on, it's just white Zweigart linen. It's 40 count, and I used 1 strand of thread over 2 linen threads. And then I just had this little plastic flexi hoop. Now, anyone that's really scrutinising this, it might not be completely straight. If anybody has ever used any of these plastic hoops, you know, right? It's a nightmare to get to get it in there. So it's in now. All I need to do is make a cardboard hoop butt for the back and cut down the material, the linen, and then yeah, get that fully finished. So I'm quite pleased with how that turned out. So that's that. And then the new start was, as I said, Wildflower Bunny. I've forgotten my board, so we'll see if this will work. So I'll pop a picture in again of Wildflower here. So this is a chart that's by Sammy of the Old Barn Stitching Co, Little Loop Stitching, and she kindly gifted it to me so that then I could pass a copy on to, well, who we now know is Vivian. And this is my progress. Oh, I love this so much. He's just so cute. So the bunny is completely done. I don't know if you'll be able to see on camera. It shows up perfectly fine, but looking from here, it doesn't look like it shows up very well, but it might do to you. So he's got a bit of a white bunny and a little bit of a white throat, and then obviously his white tail, which is actually a Weeks Dye Works. I think it's parchment. He's a little bit personalised, shall we say? So I counted off the lavender to do his ear, to then go up and do his head, because I wanted to come down. As you can see, there's quite a bit of variegation in that. I think that's Weeks Dye Works Mocha, that thread, and it doesn't look variegated when you're holding it, and then you stitch and it's beautiful. Yeah, so I've made a mistake in the ear. Somewhere down here I think I added a stitch, so then everything's obviously a little bit off somewhere else. So when I was getting down to here, I'd done all of the lavender and come down here with this sort of line of grass, I guess, but he was going to be too low, so I had to unpick this grass back to there, add a stitch in so it would come down lower to then, yeah, and I've already missed a whole row out of his tummy somewhere to try and make it right. Anyway, I wasn't unpicking any of it, and it looks fine. So yeah, so this is actually on, it's not really showing, it is a light pink linen. This is 40 count linen by Zweigart in blush pink, and I'm using all the called for threads, which are a mixture of Weeks Dye Works and DMC, and they are gorgeous. Yeah, pleased with the progress on that. It's about 75%, so yeah, not long to go. There's obviously, you've seen the pictures, so there's the bluebells up here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do these little flowers that are up here, but yeah, hopefully that'll be finished pretty soon. Okay, then I have also worked on, not massively but briefly, Pumpkin Patch by Historical Sampler Company. This is their latest stitch along. So they very kindly gifted me the kit and needle minder, well at the time, and the gift box that came with the little project bag and all the other goodies, so that was super nice of them. I am super behind. We're on part 3, so I'll pop a picture here so you can see parts 1, 2 and 3. I haven't finished part 2. I have finished part 1, but I'm only part way through. But when I say part way through, you can see it's not very far through part 2. So part 1 is all of this top bit up to there. Then part 2 was this whole sort of strip here, and then the spider web that I've got in there, and then there's another spider web, and then there's cats and so on. But yeah, I've got quite behind on it. But it's really lovely. I changed in my house, I used the yellow that is used for the stars in the windows, so it looks like the lights are on. and I used the light green that we've got in the sort of branches of the pumpkin plant, the green for my door. That's not charted like that. That's the only change I've made. Super cute ghosty needle minder that came with it. So yeah, I need to get back onto that, or else Halloween will be here and I won't be done. Then I also worked on my quacker. So I said last time that I have worked out, or am working out month by month, what percentage it needs to be at the end of that month. And I think at the end of August, to keep me on track for a finish next year before Big Stitch, it needs to be something like 31%, maybe 32. So I got quite a lot done on here, and it's about 30%. So I've got a little bit more to do this month, but when I do that, I will have to move the Q-snap now. So I worked on putting in these feathers up here, and this feather, and this little doodad, and this gorgeous duck standing here. Very majestic. So the fabric isn't quite as bright as that. I can never get it to show properly on here. It isn't as bright a blue as that. It's not sort of that turquoisey tealy colour. It's a little bit more muted than that, but it's a fabric by Fibre on a Whim. It's a 32 count linen, and it's called Stream. It's gorgeous. It's a really lovely colour. And then the threads, which you can see in this motif particularly, and in the duck, I think, is quite variegated. And this is Weeks Dye Works Squash. So yeah, so pleased with the progress on that. Needle minders on here. This one is from the lovely Charlie Feathers, and this one is from Laura, lovely Laura at Cotton and Clay UK. And I'll link all those below. So that's the quacker coming along nicely. And then the last project that I worked on was one of the first number 4 WIP Go in August. So there's a little bit of a story to this one. This is well, you can find this chart in this book. I'll pop a picture up here. Can't remember the name of it, but you'll see in it. And it is the picture that's on the front of the book. So it's a sampler. Now, in the book that I have, the thread numbers are Madeira thread numbers. Now, I wasn't going to go out and buy a load of Madeira, so I looked online and found like a conversion from the Madeira numbers to DMC. Then I saw on, I think it was eBay, there was somebody selling a kit of this exact design. So it's been kitted. I think there's different versions. There's one in a green packet. Can't remember the brand of that. I think it probably is an Anchor brand, but it's an old brand. But the one I got was an Anchor kit of the same design, and it comes with Anchor threads. So I had already got some of the border done and the letters A to H, which are a blue, and I'd substituted the DMC for the Madeira blue. So I'd got to here, show you the picture. And then when I looked at the kit threads, the Anchor threads, the blue, is much, well, you probably won't see the difference, but it is more muted and less bright blue than the DMC that I'd used. And I kept on in and I kept thinking about it and thinking, I just don't like that blue. I just think it's too bright. It doesn't really fit. So I did this. I unpicked all those letters, every last one. So it was frogging, but it was planned frogging. So it wasn't like I wasn't angrily frogging. So I took out all the letters A to H in that blue, got myself some Anchor to match the kit threads because I haven't used any of the kit materials. So I thought actually then I can probably pass that on at some point. So yeah, got myself some of the Anchor blue and then started stitching the letters again. So for my WIP Go, it literally looks like I've stitched one letter in like in a day and a half, but I haven't. I have stitched or restitched all the letters A to H and one extra letter. So the two blues, this is my fancy floss drop for the one I'm discarding. I'd use DMC 826, which is a lovely blue, don't get me wrong. But the Anchor blue is Anchor 169. So you can see the difference there, sorry. So you can see that this one at the bottom, which is the DMC, is a lot brighter than that one. And I just thought the slightly muted, I mean, it is difficult to show you on camera, but the slightly muted blue of that does look better, definitely. So, like I say, I got all the letters restitched A to H, and then started underneath with the next row of letters, which starts with L. So yeah, so in comparison from before to after, it looks like, I say, like I've stitched one letter, but yeah, re-put in all of those. Now, it's a paper chart, so I've no idea how many stitches that is, but that's quite a lot. So yeah, so I'm pleased that I did unpick it, and I'm pleased that I did that in advance, and that then I got back to where it was, kind of thing, with one little bit of extra. Let's see if I can hold these threads against the fabric and see if you can see the differences. Yeah. So yeah, there is a difference, but it's, like I say, it's hard to show on camera. So that's that. And that's everything that I've worked on since I last saw you. I haven't started the Bee Eater, which you all know I'm super excited about, and I've got all ready, the fabric's cut, the Q-snap's ready, the threads are all ready, but Wildflower Bunny came along and I started that, and then, yeah, it's just, but I'm still desperate to start it. Probably won't be today. We've got a few things to do today. We've been unpacking things and sort of sorting things out. So we'd kind of got in our heads that we wouldn't unpack, say, like, this is from 3.5 years, right? We wouldn't unpack all of our books and put them on the bookcase, because then when we come to decorate the lounge, we'd have to pack them all away again. But in 3.5 years, we've done all the major building works, like all plastering and all that kind of thing. But we probably won't be decorating that lounge this year. So it's a bit like, let's just get these boxes unpacked. So we started unpacking, like, boxes that we hadn't unpacked with things in that were, you know, not needed, like, you know, books and cushions and pictures and ornamenty bits and bobs, you know. Anyway, we've now got 2 full boxes to go to the charity shop of stuff that's made us go, why have we kept that? 3 boxes of books to go to. We have a bookshop in the next village along in Tideswell that's a second-hand bookshop, and the lady Juliet that runs it is lovely. And if we've got books that we've read, I usually take them in so that she can, you know, offer them for sale in the shop. So we've got 3 books that we're going to take over there this afternoon. One box that we found was all framed cross stitch. So all small things that could be hung on the wall or stood on a shelf, you know, sort of A4 and smaller, that kind of stuff. Because a lot of them are older stitches that I've completed many years ago, and at that time, if you were going to fully finish it, you framed it. There was no other real, nobody ever really did anything else. You know, you certainly didn't stick it on a chopping board. That would just be weird. So yeah, so we found quite a few bits and bobs out. I didn't bring any up today, but when I do my next regular Flosstube, I'll show you some of those, because some of them are quite old. But and a couple of them that I framed, if I'd stitched them now, and I still do like them, I wouldn't have framed them. So I've got a portfolio folder that I bought on Amazon. It's meant for diamond painting pictures, I think. So it's got like pages in it. So I've been putting some of my stitches in there that I don't want to frame, or I'm not going to FFO into anything in particular. So I am going to unframe those, keep the frames for something else, and pop those in the portfolio, which I'll also show you, I think, when I do my next regular Flosstube, because there's some really nice finishes in there. And it's quite a nice idea, because you just can't fully finish everything. You can't frame everything. I haven't got the room, and I haven't got the money, and some of the stuff that I've stitched, you know, I probably wouldn't stitch now, so I wouldn't necessarily want it FFO'd, and I don't know, I'm sure you all feel the same. So yeah, so I'll show you some of those next time. But that was quite nice, and there was a few other bits and pieces that we found that was little trips down memory lane, really. So yeah, so that's been good, and I feel like we're getting more and more organised. So yeah, so that's good. Anyway, plans. I want to get my quacker up to whatever the percent is. Need to double check that and get that finished for August, as it were. I need to actually stitch. What are we today? I didn't say. It's the 10th of August, Sunday the 10th of August 2025. Haven't started my August, well, haven't, because obviously it is started. Haven't picked up my August hair and sunflowers yet this month, so I need to get on with that, otherwise I'll be having the same conversation with you that I at the end of the month in June and May and April, where I've left it to the end of the month. So let's see if we can not do that. I need to get on with Pumpkin Patch. I want to finish the Wildflower Bunny. I want to start the Bee Eater. So yeah, there's a lot of plans that are loose, shall we say? Yeah, the only firm plan is WIP Parade next weekend, and then the following weekend I'm off to Bedfordshire, off to Leighton Buzzard to stay with my son Morgan and daughter-in-law Bethany. My husband's going to the Isle of Man to the Manx Grand Prix. So he's riding his motorbike over to there. He's going to meet up with his cousin, so they're going to have a little week away there. So I thought, well, if I go and stay with Morgan and Bethany, then I can have a bit of me time, do a bit of stitching while they're at work on the work days. And I've got a day out planned with a friend who I've known for many years from Leighton Buzzard. So yeah, and I'll probably meet up with a few other friends while I'm down there as well. So that would be good. That's it apart from haul. So if you don't want to see what I've bought, then fine. I will see you next time, hopefully at the WIP Parade. If you want to hang around for the haul, there are some Pauline Sew Bee bags to look at, and they are gorgeous. And a few other bits and pieces, some kits and all sorts of bits, some lovely needle minders. So yeah, so if you're leaving, then I'll see you next time. And if you're sticking around, let's go to haul. So on the top of my haul box are these project bags and grime guards. So I'd saved a bit of money up because I wanted some project bags, and the lovely Pauline at Sew Bee Bags got in touch with me and said, you know, if you do want anything specific, let me know and I can see what fabrics I've got. So I wanted a project bag for the Bee Eater pattern. I wanted a specific project bag for my Dracula project that you've seen before. See down here? So the Dracula project is currently in a Pauline Sew Bee Bags, but it's this gorgeous bag. It's not very Dracula-esque, is it? So I wanted something that was a bit more Halloween-y, a bit more Dracula. And I also said I'd like a bag for the Books Are Magic pattern that Bethany and I started a few weeks ago. So she said, yeah, she'd have a look what fabric she got or what she could get. And she sent me lots of photos so I could pick the ones that I wanted. And then I got to thinking, oh, I love a bit of matchy-matchy. I love a bit of Grime Guard, Matches Project Bag, Matchy Needle Minder, you know, all of that. So I said, Pauline, I don't suppose you make grime guards, do you? Yeah, I can make grime guards. I was like, brilliant. So I asked her if she could make me 11-inch Q-snap grime guards to match each of those 3 bags, but also an extra grime guard for this bag. So I bought this bag from Pauline in one of her Friday bag drop sales on Instagram. I love this bag, this fabric so much. And in here is Put a Bird on It by Modern Folk Embroidery. So it's the perfect bag, but it doesn't have the matching grime guard. So I asked her very nicely if she had any more of that fabric and if she could make me a grime guard, which she did. So it's the exact same fabric, will fit around the 11-inch Q-snap, and it is gorgeous. It is perfectly made, like her bags. I mean, the finishing is just stunning. I mean, I've made my own, I can make my own grime guards. Not this type of project bag, but I can make my own project bags. But you know, when someone else makes them, they do it better than you. That's Pauline. Her sewing is exquisite. I mean, this is just perfect. I haven't got a single grime guard that I've made that's perfect in any way, shape or form. So that was to match that one. Then the bags that I requested. So I chose this fabric for my Bee Eater pattern to go in. Oh, it's just so pretty. More gorgeous exotic looking birds. And matching grime guard for that. Beautiful. Then Dracula. So the Dracula bag has got Dracula on. I was just like, that is just the but it's also a bit Halloween-y. So if I finish, well, not if, when I finish Dracula, this can then house another sort of Halloween project. Oh, it's just so nice. And then she always puts a ribbon and a button on the zipper pull. And look at this one. Like, I hate spiders. I didn't say that to Pauline beforehand, but I quite like it. What I don't like is these 2 giant spiders that appeared last night. One in the middle of the lounge and one upstairs. What is that all about? I had to send my husband downstairs to get the beaker and the postcard to catch the spider. I just what is going on? But that spider I'm quite happy with, and I think it looks perfect on this bag. And that also has the matching grime guard, Dracula's face on. So that is going to look lovely. I can now swap that over and take Dracula out of his sort of crochet patchwork looking bag and put him in a proper appropriate looking bag. And then the last one is the one that I chose, the fabric I chose for Books Are Magic. Oh, this fabric's so lovely, look at it. And I just thought with the open book and the sort of magic looking, yeah, I just thought it was perfect. So that's that one. And matching grime guard. So yeah, so I'm super grateful to Pauline for these fabulous bags and grime guards. And like I say, she's so lovely. I mean, her sewing is perfect. And she's so lovely that if there's something that you would like, you know, she's very approachable. Just see what fabric she's got. She might even be able to source some fabric for a particular design or pattern that you want. And they are very reasonably priced, I can say. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't normally have bought kind of 3 bags, 4 grime guards all at once. That's quite a lot of money. But I had saved up because I knew I wanted specific bags for specific projects. So, yeah. And then with all of those, when they arrived, Pauline had sent me the most beautiful little card. Gorgeous butterfly card with a lovely note inside. And I've never seen these before, so I'm guessing they're new. Her little business card. So lovely with her logo on. And then just thank you and that on the back and her details. So yeah, really lovely. And she also sent in the package some tea and some sour watermelon candy kittens. So yeah, so obviously I've thanked Pauline already, although I was a bit late in thanking her, and she messaged me to say, did they arrive? I was like, oh my goodness. But yeah, thank you again, Pauline. They are just, it's all just perfect. Okay, what else have I got in my haul box? I have got this, so cute, scissor fob. Is that going to focus? So Adele of Tailor Made Stitching had put on her stories, if you want a scissor fob, what would you like? So I just put sheep, and that message got sent off to her. And then she messaged me back with a picture of her hand holding various little sheep charms. And one of them was pink. So I chose pink, sheep. Love sheep. If you've been here before, I love sheep. And pink is my favourite colour. So she said, yeah, that's fine. So she made it for me. And it came. And this is the little card that she sent. And it says, I hope you like your new fob. Who am I kidding? It's a pink sheep. Of course you will. So she knows me very well. We are friends. But that really made me laugh. Yeah, so sweet. And then when she sends a little scissor fob or a zipper pull, so again, you can reach out to Adele if there's something you want. Oh, I need, you know, a such and such a fob. See if she can get those particular charms. And then she always sends a little handful of stickers. So I've got some gorgeous stickers there as well. Really nice. This one I quite like. It says, you can do big and scary things. And you can. You definitely can. So that was lovely. I also picked up a needle minder from Lindsay at Stitching Magic 111. So she's on Instagram and YouTube. And she was selling her hand-painted needle minders. And I chose this strawberry. Very cute. And talking of needle minders, I also got myself another Charlie Feathers needle minder, because you can't have too many Charlie Feathers needle minders, right? Right? And I got this one. Oh my lordy lord. Look at him. I love this so much. It's just a giant fat pink flamingo. So I got him because I've got the Embroidery and Cotton Tom and Lily Creations subscription box with flamingo rose pattern in it, and I wanted a matching needle minder. And Charlie she'd made some of these. They were up in her coffee shop for pre-order anyway. Yeah, actually, did I swap this for some threads? That's right, I bought, oh, maybe I already said that to you. I bought some threads on eBay and then I gave some to Charlie and we did a little bit of a swap. I mean, her needle minders are just fantastic. She always puts a really big magnet on the big ones and like the needles just don't come off. I mean, I've got a couple of her big ones on my Lowry stand to hold my little scissors, and sometimes it's a battle between me and the needle minder to get the scissors off. Yeah, they're really, really good. Super quality. So definitely go, and I'll link her below, her shop below as usual, because I'm always showing you Charlie Feathers stuff, so it's all she's always linked below. Then I also got this kit. I've got a couple of bits of Happy Mail at the end as well. So this is all Charlie Feathers' fault, this purchase. So she has showed this kit a few times because she is stitching it, and it's a kit by Oven, and I got it from mybobbin.com, which is a Russian company, and it's called Summer Breeze. No, it's not. It's called Autumn Breeze. And I just absolutely, as soon as I saw it, I loved it. And I was sort of chatting to my husband about it and showing him Charlie's pictures. And he said, oh, it's really lovely. Why don't you just get it then? I said, oh, because it's from Russia, you know, and da-da-da. And he said, well, how much does that work out at in English pounds? So, you know, he did the whole Google, I was going to say translate, you know what I mean, currency converter, and said what it was and how much the shipping was. And he was like, oh, just get it. What are you supposed to do? But then, you know, you don't want it to travel by itself all the way from Russia, do you? So, yeah, I don't know when I'm going to start that, but I absolutely love it. I love autumn. Autumn's my favourite season, and those colours are just perfect. So, yes, because it couldn't travel alone, obviously, I got this little kit to go with it. How beautiful is that? So, this is all in, I'm guessing, Russian. Please don't come at me if I'm wrong. So I don't know what the brand is, but if I leave it there and if you want to screenshot it, you can. But it's absolutely gorgeous. Move my finger off the writing. Oh, it's just so pretty. But yeah, from mybobbin.com, and I will link them below. Then I got some Happy Mail, oh, well, and a purchase. So I mentioned to you last time about Tom and Lily Creations, who do a thread club, they do a fabric club, and then as a sort of offshoot to their company, they've got the embroidery and colour boxes, which are like a subscription box where you get a bit like the Cotton and Twine. So you get tea, you get a little treat, you get a kit. So basically you get hand-dyed linen by Melanie at Tom and Lily Creations, you get hand-dyed threads, and then you'll get a chart. And the last one that I got was the chart had been designed, so there was a collaboration between them and Yasmin of Yasmin's Made with Love for the beautiful flamingo rose chart. So Melanie very kindly reached out to me when I asked about buying her June Thread Club threads that I'd missed and I wasn't in the thread club and I hadn't seen them, and I'd seen them too late, and I said, could I still buy some? And she messaged me and said, yeah, normally I just send an invoice and send you them if I've got leftovers. She said, but how about I send you them for free so that you can try them and, you know, show your YouTube friends and your Instagram friends. So that's what I did last time I talked about it. But those threads have arrived and they are absolutely gorgeous. They're so lovely. The colours are just stunning. So she sent me the June ones for free. I did then go on, she's got a website and an Etsy, and there are some that are ready to ship on the Etsy shop. And I did go, and I think it was the Etsy shop, it might have been the website, either or. And I did buy some threads that were the threads of the month for October 2024, again, because I just really liked the colours. Now, Melanie did give me a code that if you are signing up for the Thread Club or the Fabric Club, the first 25 people to use the code will get €5 off their order. So I will put that code below. I don't know if that's been used up now, if 25 people have already done it or not, but if you're going to sign up anyway, you may as well give it a whirl. And also I've got an affiliate link, so if you are going to go to join the Thread Club, no, the Box Club, the Embroidery and Colour subscription box, if you use my affiliate link, you will get €3 off your order, and I will get €3 towards my next box. So it's win-win. We both get a little bit. So if you want to use that, that will be down in the description box as well. Right, that was a lot of waffle. Let me just show you these threads. So let me show you the June ones first. Oops, not very organised. Now then, are these going to stay together? So these are the June Thread Club threads. They're a little bit brighter than that. Like, they look quite similar. I mean, they're similar-ish, but they are different. Oh, and they're just so beautiful. So yeah, so there is Orange Sanguine. Potiron. I just butchered that. Sorry. H Collection. Really lovely, like sort of oranges, like sunset colours. That's what they remind me of. Pamplemousse Rose. You know, if they're all in a row, they're all like, that one's really variegated. Look at that, just gorgeous. Like I say, yes, like a sunset. Oranges and lemons, which is very apt. Citron, which, as the name suggests, is like a lemon colour. Lumiere, gorgeous. Lemon and lime, also very appropriate. It's very lemon and limey, look. Really pretty. Citron vert. And bergamot. So gorgeous, gorgeous. Yeah, just beautiful summery colours, really. Then because I'd ordered then and paid for myself, so those were the gifted threads, and then I'd ordered and paid for the October 2024 threads. Melanie also sent a tea bag and a gorgeous extra thread, this beautiful sort of pinky purple colour called, oh, it's just from the H collection, the whole collection, so it doesn't have a name of its own, but yeah, beautiful, beautiful colour. And these are the October threads. So again, it's quite a bit similar, but more, they are brighter and they're more autumnal rather than that kind of summery sky sunset colours. But yeah, really lovely. So we've got, these are all from, oh no, they're not all. Some of them are from the H collection, Hors collection, H-O-R-S collection. So they don't have a name of their own. That one. And that one. And that one are all from the Hors or H collection. This one is called Carube or Carube. Nice orangey colour. Spritz. And then we're back to the H or Hors collection for this one. And this one, which is lovely. Then we have Pumpkin. Oh wow, that is so nice. I mean, that's every type of pumpkin and squash there, right there, isn't it? From green to pale yellow to bright orange. Absolutely gorgeous thread that is. And then two more of the Hors collection or H collection. That's a little bit like the lemon and lime one actually, but a bit more saturated. And this one. So a lot of gorgeous threads there to use and keep me entertained. So yeah, so I'm super grateful to Melanie for gifting me the June ones. And yeah, they're just beautiful. They really are. So all the links, like I say, for all of that will be below. And then I think this is the last thing that was Happy Mail, and it's really lovely. So I did a giveaway some time ago, and the winner was a lovely lady who we then had a few emails backwards and forwards, and she was in Australia. And unexpectedly, I got home from work the other day and there was an international package on the doormat, and I thought, well, what is that? I haven't ordered anything, have I? And then I could see who it had come from, and it was from the lady, Leslie, who had won one of my giveaways. So it was a very unexpected package, but absolutely lovely. So inside was a couple of little gifts and a little postcard. So she sent me a lovely note saying that she was sending me a couple of Aussie products that she thought I might like, and an Aussie postcard, which I'll show you in a second. And that she was enjoying my videos, which is very lovely, thank you. And then she was telling me a bit about her stitching and so on. So it was a really lovely little note. This is the postcard. I love this postcard so much. So it shows you different countries or areas that fit inside Australia, just to give you a perspective of how big the country actually is. Now, we all know it's a big country, right? Leslie does say on the note that she thinks the UK one is a little bit oversized inside the country, really. And I tend to agree, but the whole of Europe and nearly all of America fits inside Australia. Like, it's massive. I mean, look at that, inside that country. Yeah, I just love this. I'm going to keep this where I can see it, because it just made me smile. I just thought, that is just, you can't kind of grasp it really, but yeah. So thank you, Leslie. I love this. I really love it. She included in the package a couple of little gifts, like she said, some Aussie gifts. So this thread, oh, it's not showing the right pink, that, came, and I saw the label and I thought it was Dinky Dyes, because it's a very similar label, but it's actually Silks for You. Now, Dinky Dyes used to be an Australian company, as far as I understand it, but now they got bought by somebody else. But Silks for You are an Australian company. So this is a Silks for You thread in the most gorgeous, gorgeous pink, which is darker than that. It's just not going to show the right colour, is it? I wonder if I put it against something. No, it's still a little bit darker than that. And Leslie obviously has paid attention and knows that I like pink. So this is Silks for You, CM013 is the number on the back. And it is absolutely gorgeous. It really, really is. And it's so soft. It has got a little bit of variegation. There is some light pink bits in there as well. So yeah, I look forward to using that. And she also sent me these gorgeous, gorgeous needle minders. They're just so pretty. I love them. And they're really quite heavy, and they've got really big magnets on. And they're just, yeah, just beautiful, beautiful flowers. So thank you so much, Leslie. You really didn't need to do that, to send a package all the way over here. You know, it's not cheap, but I really, really appreciate it. And I love them. I really, really do. So thank you very much. Obviously, I have thanked Leslie via email, because we've had a little bit of conversations. So that's it. So my short video has turned into 47 minutes, 48 minutes. Not that short after all. Goodness knows how long the WIP parade will take next week. So as we stand today, I have 53 WIPs, yeah. So buckle up next week, because it is going to be a long one. I'm not going to show you project bags and all of that, because I'd be here for days. I will have all the projects. Some will still be in Q-snaps or nerd shoops or whatever they're in, but I will make sure you can see the whole project. And some won't. And I will do them in chronological order from my oldest WIP to my latest WIP. So I'm quite excited about it. I won't be excited afterwards when I've got to clear up. I might even just shut the door to the craft room and leave it for a couple of days. It's a lot of work, but it'll be worth it. I'm looking forward to doing it. So yeah. So that's me for today. I hope you're all enjoying the weather. If it's nice where you are, it's gorgeous here. It's going to be a beautiful day. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying that if it's good where you are, and I hope you get some stitching done. And yeah, I will see you next week for the big WIP parade. Bye everybody, happy stitching.